Hey, what's up, everybody? Coach Chris Cotton here, and welcome back to the Weekly Blitz. I want to start today with a question that sounds simple, but it should scare every shop owner listening. Where are people going to get their vehicles repaired 5 and 10 years from now? Because we've talked a lot about the technician shortage, and I've been beating the drum for a long time on the repair bay shortage. But here's a twist that I hadn't fully anticipated and or appreciated until recently. I read an article in Shop Owner magazine by Andrew Markle. And in the magazine, in this article, it says, we're not just having a bay shortage, we're having a shop owner shortage. And if you want the why, I'll give it to you in one line. Bays don't build themselves, shops don't run themselves, and communities don't magically make room for repair capacity. So let's break it down and get into it just a little bit. So here's what I believe is the math that matters. A Lang marketing summary. I can never say this right. So there was a marketing summary published by Aftermarket Matters, and it talked about the trend. In 2020, you had about 243 vehicles per bay. In 2022, about 253 vehicles per bay. And in Lang, the people that did the study projected that it's going to top at 261 here pretty closely. And the reason why is bays keep declining while vehicle numbers keep rising. So, if you feel like you're constantly behind, you're not imagining it. But the bottleneck isn't just we need more bays. And here's what I believe the public doesn't see a lot. And I don't think people in our cities pay enough attention to this. And by city, I mean city government. Sorry. So a lot of towns and cities make it hard to add repair capacity. Auto repair and especially collision bodywork often gets classified as something that requires extra approvals, conditional use permits, special permits, hearings, restrictions, conditions. You can literally see this in municipal documents where auto body repair facilities are listed as, uses subject to a conditional use permit. And then so you add the real world layer to this. Neighbors don't want car stuff near them. Planning meetings turn into a circus. We have hazardous chemicals. Time drags on, costs go up, and entrepreneurs and would-be shop owners just say, forget it. So even outside auto repair specifically, research on land use permitting points out that uncertainty and complexity can make building new repair shops prohibitively risky and costly, which is exactly what kills new facility development. And the irony is those same communities still expect instant repairs. They still don't understand why they call the dealership and they say they're 3 weeks out.
You didn't start a repair shop just for it to be an average business. So why does your shop's marketing look like every other shop's? At Shop Marketing Pros, we create custom websites and digital ads. We do search engine optimization and social media marketing that's actually customized to your shop, not templated. Stop waiting for your shop to rise above the competition by chance and book your discovery call at shopmarketingpros.com, because top-tier shops deserve top-tier marketing.
Nobody's connecting the dots. And at some point, people are going to run out of places to fix the cars that everybody needs to go to get to work, school, life, and adventure. So, one of the things I think is productivity is the pressure relief valve, right? So, I think Cecil said this, and I've been talking about it, but I think Cecil put the number into it. If every shop in America increased productivity by 10%, we wouldn't have a technician issue or technician shortage. So whether the exact number is 10 or 12%, the point's rock solid, right? The fastest way to create capacity is not adding bays, it's extracting wasted time from the bays you already have. And, if every shop owner looked at their staff and reduced the technicians by one, which one, that tech goes back into the pool and becomes the number 2 tech at another shop, maybe. So, I don't know. I think one toxic, unproductive tech can eat more leadership time than 3 solid ones. Those people clog workflow, they kill morale and force hero mode management. The shop has a tech, but it doesn't have capacity. And, one thing I would say is the industry doesn't just have a shortage of technicians. It has a surplus of technicians who are in the wrong seat in the wrong shop, under the wrong leadership, or just aren't producing. So, if we think about also shop owners are not getting into training, these things help us correct process. They help dispatch, they help approvals, they help workflow, discipline, and leadership expectations. Productivity isn't a technician issue. It's a management system issue, and we have to work into it together. So now let's move back into the shop owner shortage a little bit. So if we're connecting dots, if zoning and permitting slows new facilities and productivity is the only near-term relief, then who coordinates all of it? It's down to the owners, operators, and leaders. But fewer people want this job because modern ownership includes HR and culture, software and data, marketing and reputation, compliance and equipment, complexity across EV, ADAS, diagnostics, etc., and the personal weight of carrying payroll every week. So now it's not just we need techs. It's where is the next generation of owners going to come from to build shops worth inheriting? So let's talk consolidation a minute, and what it's doing in the collision industry. There was a collision industry article called Focus Advisors. It says larger operators acquired 450 plus locations in 2024, and the big 5 MSOs added 319 shops, representing about 30% of industry market share. Also, Focus Advisors in February 2026 also notes the top 4 consolidators collectively represent 32% or more of total industry revenues. So collision shows what happens when complexity rises, equipment cost jumps, insurers pressure, speed and consistency, and scale wins. I think that's the biggest thing. When your collision group is as big as an insurance company, then you can start pushing them back and poking them in the chest and being like, hey, not so fast, buddy. So that's when scale wins. Mechanical isn't identical, but it rhymes, right? And here's your tie-in. Consolidation is what the market does when independent succession fails. And that's where we're at. We are failing independent succession at this point. If the owner shortage accelerates, consolidation doesn't slow down, it speeds up. All right. Hey, everybody, let's take a quick break. If bays are tight and capacity matters, the last thing you need is garbage leads clogging your schedule. That's why I only trust Shop Marketing Pros. They help shops attract better customers, the ones who value expertise, approve work, and respect your process. Because when bays are limited, marketing has to be smarter, less chaos, better car count, higher ARO, more yes. Shop Marketing Pros, tell them Chris Cotton sent you. So, here's the takeaway. The bay shortage is bad. The shop owner shortage might be worse, because even if we solve technician recruiting and if we solve productivity, if we don't solve succession, leadership development, and the community level reality that is getting harder to build repair capacity, we're going to watch the bottleneck tighten until customers have nowhere to go. Thanks for listening to the Weekly Blitz. Shout out to the Aftermarket Radio Network. I want you to go out and check out the other great shows on that network. This is Coach Chris Cotton. I want you to keep building people. That's how we're going to build capacity. Have a great day, everybody. And remember to always rise and grind.